Hey YouTubers, and welcome back to another Dragon Ball discussion video, theory video, whatever you want to say. Anyway, I am once again joined by MJ from GeekList TV. MJ, why don't you say hello, man?
What's up, guys? MJ here, about to blast it in your ear. Speakers going clear. Oh, dude, I got bars, man. I got bars. But yeah, what's up, man? Thank you for having me back on the channel. It's always an honor to collab with you.
Oh man, any time. It's like always so fun to have you on the channel. Plus it's like super easy to have you on the channel because like you and I, we bros, man. We're just like always on the same time. We're just ready to collab with each other.
Bros before hoes, anyway, bro.
Definitely. Anyway, guys, you saw the thumbnail. You saw the title of the video. You know what we're going to be talking about. Something that's kind of caught my attention over the last couple of days is the fact that nobody seemingly knows at this point that shit is going down. I mean, for the most part, like, you know, nobody knows the rules of this tournament. No one knows the situation that we're going to have ourselves if Universe 7 loses for this particular tournament, or even Universe 6. I mean, there's no indication that anyone besides, I mean, we were talking about this, it's like, what, Beerus knows, Whis knows, the Kais know, Goku and Gohan, right? Like, those are the only people.
Yeah, he was forced to tell Gohan because I would think he probably wouldn't compete otherwise. So, you know, Gohan is the only one that knows other than those that you just mentioned.
Yeah, so honestly, like, we don't know how everyone else is going to basically react to this. And personally, like, this is some huge stakes. We all been talking about this for the matter, you know, for months now. Like, oh my god, this is going to be huge. Like, this is going to be something that we can't necessarily just kind of recover from. It's going to become an issue. Like, everyone's going to try their hardest because of it. So personally, like, I was thinking, how are we going to see reactions to this? People like Vegeta, Bulma, Trunks, Goten, Piccolo, 18, Krillin, Roshi, Tenshinhan, everyone else in the roster, everyone else that we really know from the show. So I thought we'd do like a really relaxed discussion and basically talk about how we want to see other people react to this. Because let me just be clear, if they do not react in a way that kind of suggests at least a little bit that they're not necessarily, they're at least okay with what Goku has done, then I'm going to be disappointed. I'm not talking about like you guys might just like it and want to see the fights and everything. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people do, but this is one of the things, I mean, we've seen Beerus overly react to this. He is pissed off, to say the least. I want everyone else to be pissed off. I want everyone to basically blame Goku at this point. And we'll talk about each person individually and what they might think or how they might react. But, I mean, what are your thoughts on this overall, MJ? Like, do you want to see people react or just have, like, kind of a sickening feeling towards the situation or Goku, even as this goes forward?
Hell yeah, man. I want to see them pull a Walking Dead and they throw Goku, like, in a chamber and lock him up. And they'll say they'll take care of it. I'm pretty sure.
I don't think that's gonna happen.
You know what I'm talking about, right? When they threw Rick in that cell.
Yeah.
But anyways, no, they won't do that. But I hope they do get pissed off. But something does kind of scare me though, bro, and that was the major bad decisions that Goku made throughout the Buu arc. Like, Goku made a lot of bad decisions throughout the Buu arc, and he was hardly ever scolded for it. Now, people will say, well, MJ, that's probably because the Buu arc was extremely rushed, and Toriyama was not giving a fuck at that time when he was writing it. But at the same time, like, we saw how Piccolo reacted to the whole Gohan thing and the Cell arc, you know what I mean? So we might see some reactions from like Piccolo and Vegeta. I would expect, especially Vegeta, especially if Bulma is still pregnant when he hears about it. There might be a difference. There might be a difference between when she has the baby and when she doesn't. You know what I mean? Because right now he turned down training. You know what I mean? For to be there with Bulma before she can give birth, right? So who knows what might happen when she actually does give birth? Like, we've seen, you know, Vegeta still go out and train even when Trunks was a baby. So who knows? Like, who knows exactly what happens? But I feel like we're going to get some reactions out of it, especially from the likes of, like, Chi-Chi. I would expect maybe Satan to get a little antsy because we saw how he acted when the universe was about to get destroyed in the BOG arc. I feel like we should get some good reactions. If we don't, it's going to feel kind of... you know, like me and Kanji talked about this off air and on air, and we made a joke about the Family Guy joke. You know, Kanji goes, "Who else but Goku?" And I'm like, "Who else but Quagmire?" You know what I mean? Like, I hope I hope that's not what happens. Like, they just go, "Oh, that's our Goku." You know, okay, we'll fight. I hope that doesn't happen. I hope we actually get to see some reactions because, I mean, Goku took the scolding from Beerus, and then even though Gohan sort of scolded him, at the same time we know Gohan is very what's the word? He's lenient with his father. You know what I mean? Like, that same time, going back to the ROF arc. I know I'm sort of rambling here, but going back to the ROF arc, when Goku wants to leave to go train with Whis, Gohan's actually one of the first people to endorse him. You know, Gohan's like, "That's who you are, father. Just do it." So I think he knows who his dad is. He knows that he's not the perfect person, and he knows that he does make some mistakes here and there. So yeah, the fact that he didn't scold Goku that much is understandable, but I do hope we get to see like Chi-Chi, Piccolo, Vegeta. I would assume, especially Vegeta now, for them to kind of get on Goku's ass about this.
Mm-hmm. I mean, just in terms of what we've seen, you're right. Like, Gohan has always been kind of lenient with his father when it comes to his choices. I feel like because he just trusts Goku. Goku, for the most part, a lot of people think Goku's a bad father. I guess there's some legitimacy to that claim, regardless of how you want to think about it. But at the same time, like, you got to remember, just taking contextually how Gohan was actually portrayed throughout most of Z. Whenever he was in a tight situation, Goku would literally show up to save him. Like, he trusts his dad in this situation to basically, regardless of the situation, whether Frieza shows back up or something, he trusts his dad to come back and save the day. I think a lot of people do. They dealt with that issue a lot in Dragon Ball Z, where Goku was basically the savior of any big bad situation. We were all just waiting on him. That was basically the huge trope of Dragon Ball Z. Or this particular series, I mean, you can't really escape it. It's one of the things that we're actually waiting for. You've seen, like, Goku come back in the tournament. You see Goku and Vegeta basically go fight Frieza. You see all this stuff. But as you've pointed out off air before, I don't think you and I ever did that video, was Goku fails a lot in this whole show. Like, it's his new big trope, is that he fails. Everything he does, he fails. He fails against Frieza. He failed against Hit. He failed against he basically failed against Zamasu. Like, he failed against Beerus. Doesn't put a lot of faith. I feel like, and that could probably potentially come back to bite him in the ass when it comes to his friends and family. I mean, he's taken a whole lot of risks that haven't really kind of gone in his favor throughout this entire arc. So it does make me question whether we're going to see some backlash from people who are in a good place. People like Piccolo, who, for the most part, he's just been taking care of Pan, like being an awesome babysitter and everything, having that relationship with Gohan and Videl basically expand as it goes on. Or even Chi-Chi, who's kind of gotten comfortable with her life and all the money that they got at the beginning of the series, maybe doesn't want that to kind of go away. Or even just having people like Videl also mad at him. Obviously, Bulma would probably be really mad at him in going into this. Maybe even Krillin questioning Goku for once, not even being like, look, like, I want them to bring this up to Goku. I feel like that's something I really want. It's like, I want someone, be it Krillin or Chi-Chi or someone, to basically throw all of his failures in his face throughout this entire arc and being like, you put us in this situation, and your track record hasn't been stellar recently. You haven't been able to step up in the way that you thought you would just because you wanted to have fun. And now we're in this mess, and we are not all strong enough to fight your battles for you.
Yeah, I completely agree with that.
Thanks, MJ.
No, yeah, I completely agree with that. I like that line that you just said, we're not all strong enough to fight your battles. That really resides with the people like Krillin, Ten Shinhan, and maybe even Piccolo, Roshi. People like that who aren't strong enough to keep things going. But at the same time, though, I don't see, like, Krillin and them doing that. Like, because we've seen Krillin kind of take Goku's shit. He may do it now just due to the fact that things have changed. Obviously he has a daughter, stuff like that. Like, he was hesitant about going to the battlefield with Majin Buu, until 18 gave him the go-ahead, everything will be alright. So I feel like maybe he could throw that into his face, and we saw in that recent filler arc, or Dimsy calls it transitional arc. We saw in that transitional arc, Krillin kind of got into Goku's face. You know, what I mean, he told him that I'm not like you. You know what I mean? So we could see it there. I mean, it kind of scares me though, bro, because we're bringing up a lot of good points here, especially you. But at the same time, I feel like they may just chuck it off as that, oh, it's just Goku. You know, it's Goku being Goku. Like, even like Bulma at the start of this arc, she was like, oh, you want to go train again? I guess you really haven't changed much, right? It's like they kind of threw that line in there, and that makes me wonder. I wonder if that's setting up for the fact that maybe they're just going to accept this, you know, like. But at the same time, though, I don't want that to be the case, you know? Like, I want someone to kind of just get into Goku's face and let him know, especially Vegeta. Because Vegeta's been alongside Goku recently in battles. So Vegeta would know the situation, you know? Hey, you were weaker than Frieza. You failed against Beerus. Me and you both failed against Zamasu. We both lost a hit. You know, kind of just explain to him what he's done and the ramifications, because I think that line, people have always wondered about that line of Beerus saying there's other universes that have spawned warriors greater than us, right? Or greater than you can imagine. Let me rephrase that. So maybe Beerus knows that they could run into some serious trouble here. Maybe he knows there's people out of Goku's league that could show up in this tournament, because obviously he's the twin brother of Universe 6, and obviously he knows Champa, so maybe he had an idea of who Champa would bring, because he was surprised that Champa and Vados were able to get hit. So maybe that's why he relied so much on Goku and Vegeta, because he knew the extent of the fighters in Universe 6, whereas now it's open season. You know, anybody can show up and anybody can be stronger than Goku and Vegeta, you know. So maybe that will haunt Goku, and that will haunt this whole tournament, because Goku vowed to protect Universe 7, to vow to protect his home world, and if people show up stronger than him, he won't be able to do that. And then how are his friends going to help him if these people or this team are even stronger than Goku? And then it's like, you know, Bulma's pregnant. So I can definitely see from that point of view, if Vegeta gets into his face, like you said, and kind of just throws everything at him, hopefully that will kind of like sink in, and we'll get some moment there, like some focused moment between maybe like Goku and Vegeta, or like Goku and somebody else. So at least those are my thoughts on the topic.
No, I completely agree. Personally, that's something I really want to see in this entire arc, is just them allowing themselves to get away from all the ridiculous, crazy aspects of the series and be actually a little bit more mature. I want Goku to feel the gravity of his loss, or his, you know, lack of accomplishment throughout this entire series. I mean, we've talked about this in vivid detail throughout many videos about how, you know, Goku hasn't really achieved much as opposed to any of the other series in the entire franchise. You know, even remotely thinking about Dragon Ball Z, and even GT. You know, he hasn't achieved a new form that's become dominant. Not even fusion worked for that long. Nothing he does in this series can match the opponents that he's ended up facing for very long. He can push himself, but we've all seen the ramifications of that. So someone needs to stand up to him at this point and just tell him that he's gone too far at this point. And personally, I really hope we see that. I hope we see the gravity of this between maybe Chi-Chi just kind of breaking down and being saddened by the whole situation. Maybe even, you know, for another thing, maybe like an homage to the whole Cell games, and, you know, Piccolo getting into Goku's face and Goku doubting himself at a level, like some point during this arc. Maybe someone dying to help win a fight, or someone like Vegeta railing from the whole concept of he's a new father, and his new respect for Trunks and Bulma, and now Brawl, you know, like you said, getting into Goku's face, or maybe even seeing Gohan die, like we've talked about in the past, like seeing Gohan die, or Trunks, or Krillin, or someone, to make Goku realize that this is just not the right decision, and he messed up big time. Because that's the big lesson he has to learn at this point, is like, if the whole lesson in basically all of Dragon Ball Super thus far is don't underestimate your enemy, is don't overestimate yourself in this arc.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. And yeah, I do agree with you that maybe. Okay, let me just say this. I do want there to be a moment when they find out and they do get into Goku's face, specifically Vegeta, just because Vegeta has been sort of his equal. At least is how everybody sees it. You know, that Vegeta and Goku are equals, and think about how many times Goku had to get into Vegeta's face. Let's reverse that for this one time and have Vegeta get into Goku's face, you know. But also to bring up is the fact that if they don't go that route, I can totally see them kind of doing that in the actual tournament. Like, I feel like it'll take somebody dying for Goku to kind of just realize, oh shit, you know, gajillions of people are dying, you know, I may not be able to beat that team, fuck. You know, like, just be completely like, for it to hit him at the tournament, which I completely think is plausible. But again, if they do go the route where they kind of just be mature about it and it kind of like hits Goku in the face before the tournament starts, then I would really hope it's Vegeta, because I feel like he's probably the one that has the most merit to do it, in my opinion. At least right now, in my opinion. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I completely agree. But like, I don't expect Vegeta to die, but I mean, he would be a cool person to get killed right now because he's a new dad, but that's another video. So anyway, guys, we've already done that video, by the way. So
horror movie tropes, bro. When that cop goes, "Hey, I just found out I'm having a kid," boom, gets killed.
Yeah, right. I'm a couple days from retirement, and boom, like, yeah, type of thing. Honestly, guys, I think that's all we really have to talk about, unless MJ has anything else he wants to say.
No, I was gonna rap, but I'm like completely out of bars right now.
Anyway, guys, don't forget to rate, comment, subscribe. Please make sure to go check out MJ. Make some daily content for you guys. Really awesome stuff if you haven't necessarily gone to see him yet. Anyway, guys, we're going to catch you on the next video. Bye.